Thank you. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Food Healers of the Block Party. A special thanks to Marco and Jamin and the people who watch this 24 hours. Hello, welcome to Chris and Alan. If he's still here, he comes on off and on. So this portion is about food healers and making cheese. And Tammy is not able to make it this morning, so I'm going to do a demo. Lisa's going to do some talking, and anybody else who's made cheese who wants to share what they do, that's great. So that we can share this video later, it's being recorded. And I will tell you that my brother Pony and I went to an Austin Veg Fest. We've done that. We did that for a few years in a row. And we had some delicious like nacho cheese, a cheese sauce, and it was so good. And we thought we could make it. And I think it said the ingredients. I think it said beans, chili powder, and garlic. Oh my gosh. So Pony suggested that we use a light bean, a navy bean, or a cannellini bean. So I did. Didn't know how much chili powder, so I used my organic chili powder. And then, oh, it said nutritional yeast too. Must have said that because it must have. So I did. I came up with one and it's variable. Today, I think I'm going to try putting some turmeric in it to make it a little more yellow. You know, turmeric is kind of like chili also. Oh, yes, I'm glad. Let me just stop right now and welcome Kate. Hi, Kate. I'm so glad you're here. I hope Lena is able to join. Tammy's not able to be here, Kate, Red Clover Kate. So I'm showing a cheese sauce that I make that's very simple. And then Lisa's going to talk about something, and I've got some more things to show also. So I was just saying that we start off with a can of beans, or you can, it's more ecological to cook them yourself, but this is what I have is a can of beans. And I put them in my blender or however you do it. Whoops. Okay, so I'm going to have to rinse out the bottom in a little bit. You know how that goes. And then 3/4 of a cup of nutritional yeast. And I want to show you the kinds that we have here. You can get them in bulk, but our little store Cornucopia had this kind. And it was very powdery. So when I ran out, I ordered something that's been on Facebook. I don't know if y'all have seen it, but it's Nutrilicious. And I just finally decided to order it. And it's very flaky and flavorful. I like it. And now I have poured it in this container to keep it that way. But those are the two brands that I know. But some places will have it in both. Okay, so then I add this into my container. And it's very powdery, so you'll get whiffs of it. Kind of pops up there. Now, in terms of this, I had said in my recipe a pinch of this. Today, I realized that maybe I could have said just gone ahead and said 1/4 of a teaspoon, so a pretty small amount. I'm going to put that amount in here, and then I'll when I go blend this up, Lisa, you can talk about your book, and then I'll come back with it made if that's okay. Okay, so now also, oh, I happened to grab a new bottle of turmeric. Turmeric is a nice thing for adding color if you don't mind just a little bit of spicy and a little bit of hot. Not too much, it's not really too hot. Turmeric is a hard thing to describe, but it sure adds some yellow. So I love it for my tofu scramble. When I'm doing tofu eggs in the morning, not eggs, but tofu, I just love turmeric in there. So I'm going to add a little bit of this. That's not even a full 1/4 teaspoon, and see what happens. Okay.
What did you put in before?
Chili powder.
Chili powder. Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
And is nutritional yeast and brewer's yeast the same thing?
Some people said it is, but I don't know. I mean, I have used brewer's yeast a little bit when I haven't had something else and I just want a little bit of flavor. But I think it might be a little bit different yeast. So I'm not sure. Um, if your store doesn't have it, like our Lockhart store doesn't have it, it might be best to get it online. And you are is it South Dakota? Yeah, South Dakota. Yeah. Okay, thanks for asking. So really, it's beans, nutritional yeast, and chili powder, and a clove of garlic, which I forgot to cut and prepare. So I'll go do that and put a clove of garlic in there. Now that's all there is to it except for adding water. And I have not yet determined how much water. I say add it tablespoon at a time, but yesterday I got up to 10 tablespoons, but I don't want to say that amount because you'll want it according to the thickness that you like. And if you want it real runny, to put over nachos, that's one thing. I like to have it and put it yesterday or day before yesterday when I was trying it, I put it over my baked potato and Brussels sprouts. So then you see I've got beans, Brussels sprouts, and potatoes. I've got what I need for nutrition. Okay, so any questions on that so far? Okay, so I'm going to go into the other room, remember to chop my garlic and put that in there, blend it up, and then I'll be back. Lisa, take it away.
Okay, I will. I can't wait to see how it turns out. Well, I've just very recently started getting interested in kind of delving deeper into making some of the cheeses that are a lot like what you can buy in the store, the not dairy cheeses, but the vegan cheeses. And so I checked out this book by Miyoko Schinner, who makes and sells a lot of the cheeses that you can find, and it's really, really helpful. I'm gonna go ahead and buy this book. Now hers are a little more labor intensive than what BJ is demonstrating this morning, but they sure look good too. So I think, it's great to have the quick and easy ones, but also to me, this may be a new hobby. I may be starting to make more cheeses. One of the ones though that I've tried too is a kind of a nacho cheese that I think will be similar to what BJ is demonstrating this morning. But this one uses butternut squash and cashews and a thickener, which a lot of times she uses agar, AGAR, and there's a couple of other thickeners she uses. I have not investigated those yet. I'm not sure where to get them, but this particular one for the nacho cheese doesn't use a thickener. The cashews themselves, I think, once you cook them, they thicken it up. But it really turned out great. It's kind of, I hate to use the word rubbery, but it is a little more spreadable, I guess, rather than rubbery. But and so it seems a lot like a melted cheese when you put it on your nachos, and it was delicious. It was really delicious. And so she's got, let me just give you some examples of some of the other cheeses that she has. There's a recipe for something similar to Boursin, Boursin, that cheese that you can find in restaurants that looks delicious, and a kind of a goat cheese recipe. One of the things that she uses a lot is what's called Rejuvelac. Is anybody familiar with Rejuvelac? Let me put it up here so maybe you can see it a little better. That's the word. It is it's cultured from seeds. You sprout some seeds. It can be wheat seeds. It can be brown rice, millet, oat groats, quinoa, rye berries, wheat berries. And so you culture them for several days in water and then use that remaining water to culture your cheese. And so I haven't done that yet either, but I found some wheat berries that I'm going to try with that. She says the quinoa is the easiest because they sprout most quickly of any of those. But then you use it in the cheese and it gives it, I think, a kind of a more umami taste in the cheeses. She uses a lot of the nutritional yeast as well to bring out kind of a cheddary flavor too. So so let's get back to the late breaking news from BJ, and I'll come back later too. Go ahead, BJ. How'd it go?
Okay, thank you. Okay, so I have blended in I use a Vitamix. It's a used one, and now sometimes if I put too many beans in it without much water, it doesn't blend as well. So I have to be careful. I have made it to this consistency. You can see it as I pour it. So it's kind of thick. And it looks like it's kind of lumpy, so it looks like I could have blended it some more, so I'm not going to put it all in here. Okay, better not let that drip on my computer. There we go. Okay, so that's the color of it. Well, you can't hardly tell the color because I don't have some light on. Well, maybe it's okay. You can tell enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a cheese. That's a cheese color thing. So you can see there are just a little few lumps in it, so I could have blended it a little bit longer. But this then would fit right on anything you want, or a nacho would be good. Okay, so now I'm going to see what it tastes like with a little with that turmeric in there. See if it tasted good. Oh my gosh, that is good. That is good. I can't tell the difference between the turmeric. I think I might add some more chili powder in it. So, and now it's not going to taste like, you know how it is if you have a regular whole milk and then you have your 2%, or if you have a regular cheese and then you have a vegan cheese, it's not going to taste exactly the same, but it is a very cheesy taste, and it's very delicious. So that's what it is. And you can modify it yourself by adding more garlic. If you think, oh, a little more garlic would be good, I'd like it a little spicier. But those are the main ingredients for it. Hi, Tony.
What's the amount for the chili powder that you started with?
I started with first I said a pinch, but now I'm up to a quarter of a teaspoon. Yeah. And really, see, one could have this on asparagus or anything, because what is it? It's beans. And then when you look at there's no fat in nutritional yeast. There's zero trans fat, zero saturated fat. There's no cholesterol. There is a little bit of salt, and there's fiber. So it's not a calorie making thing and a cholesterol making thing like the dairy cheese is. So it's just giving you fiber. It's got vitamin B, riboflavin, potassium, iron, vitamin D. Oh, no vitamin D, sorry. It's on there, but then it says 0. Okay.
What's the measurement for the turmeric?
The turmeric, I put in, what did I do? Did I use a teaspoon? Yes, I used a quarter of a teaspoon, a little less than a quarter of a teaspoon. I didn't fill it up.
So more chili than turmeric?
Yeah, a little bit.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. And this is not something I'm going to eat for my morning meal. It feels a little heavy for me for my morning, and but it will put in the refrigerator, and then it will have, it'll start, you can put a container over it, but it will start filming over. So then you just stir it right in. It starts turning a little brown on the edges, like other cheeses do too, and then you just stir it up. It's also good heated. You have to watch it as you heat it to put it on something, but yeah. Okay, well, I'm excited about that, so I hope that y'all get to try that and tell me what you think, and then just feel free to modify it. I used a medium-sized clove of garlic, not an extra large one, but it wasn't small either. I like that. So I hope that is helpful. And do we want to go back to you, Lisa, and then go back to me? Because I have some more things.
Well, I could maybe say a few more things. I definitely want to hear yours too.
Okay.
But I like the ease of that one that BJ recommends. That sounds like it would be very delicious on a potato too. But one of the things that when I made this cheese sauce, the nacho cheese sauce that from the Miyoko Artisan Vegan Cheese Cookbook, is that it also includes some chipotle chilies in it, and it was very flavorful. It was really good. But that particular one here has butternut squash, some unsweetened non-dairy yogurt, some water, an onion, nutritional yeast, raw cashews, and tapioca flour. That's the thickener in this one, which is very easy to find at most grocery stores. And then the chipotle chilies. And you blend all of that up, and it was really delicious. And it you can keep it in the fridge for 4 or 5 days. It lasted quite a while. It was quite good, but definitely more time intensive than the one that you made, BJ. But there's a recipe for Alfredo sauce, Parmesan, smoked provolone, tofu ricotta, Monterey Jack. So there's just really a lot of possibilities that I have not tried yet, but I intend to. That just sound delicious. And even a brie.
Yeah.
So I'm
Well,
looking
that's good. I think I will add, I bought a jalapeno and I like the flavor of jalapeno. I may even chop up some of that since I'm going to reblend my cheese sauce to make it a little smoother. I could add a little chili in there and see how that does. It's one of those things now. I know some people need a recipe exactly. Oh, there's a sweet dog. But I don't mind experimenting with a portion of it. If I like something good, I don't want to mess up the whole thing, but I don't mind experimenting with a portion. Okay, well, I'm glad you told us about that book. That's good to know. Libraries have good books. And
Yeah.
also you can just do, I mean, I have done vegan oil-free cheese. And even with that, you get some interesting things. So this is a book I ordered online. It's by Jerome. You may have, if you do Facebook, you may recognize her picture. Some of her ads have come up. She is a cheese expert. And so I went ahead and ordered a little kit from her. The book is called Plant-Based Cheese Making. And I don't know how to say her name. It's Jeromine. Is that Jeromini? Jeromini? I don't know. And her last name is Navi, N-A-V-I. And with this kit, I got this book. I got these 2 plastic things, which people are using these days. I'm not sure how much I want to use them, but I think if they're not cooked, I think you just put things in there and let them chill. So I got these little plastic thingies, lightweight. I got a cheese bag, which I have not used. And I got some Lacto Biff 5. So this has different supplements that you can put in when you're wanting to make certain kinds of cheeses. And as you can see, they're just still here. I haven't used it yet. Well, I like the simple. And anyway, so that's what I've got for when I'm feeling more, when I'm ready to do that. But I did mark some cheese things that I thought I would share with you how simple some of these are. For instance, this easy cashew cream cheese, because instead of buying a cream cheese, this has quite a few things in it, but it doesn't look hard. 2 cups of cashews soaked in water. That's one of the major things to know when you're using cheeses or seeds. You often need to soak them, so you have to plan ahead and soak them overnight or soak them for 4 to 8 hours. Then you add half a cup of water, a clove of garlic, some lemon juice, 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast, some apple cider vinegar, dried thyme, salt and pepper. So see, those things you would have in your kitchen. You don't have to go get some bacteria and I don't keep tapioca flour in my house. I don't remember using it, but I have been seeing it coming up in recipes. So, that's a good thing. So that one is easy, and it just says place your cashews in a bowl and cover with water. Let it rest 8 to 12 hours or overnight. Drain the cashews and rinse them well. And it says use your hands to get the jelly-like substance off of them. So I have not found any jelly-like substance. When I've soaked them, they have not had anything like that, but I don't do it very often. And then just mix all the ingredients together in a high-speed blender and mix. Adjust the consistency with water as needed, adding a tablespoon at a time, and adjust with your mixes. So that's just cashews, water, garlic, nutritional yeast, apple cider vinegar, thyme, salt, and pepper. So a very simple one.
BJ, I see Kate has her hand up. Is that still up from before, Kate, or did you have a question?
When Lisa was talking, I kind of got some questions, but BJ just answered one of them. Was how to get the cashews in the right consistency. So you soak them overnight, okay.
Mhm.
And then the butternut squash, you're just cooking it in a pan and getting it soft. And
Yeah, get it soft so you can mash it.
Yeah.
now, BJ, last question is how much apple cider vinegar went into that? That recipe sounds like I gotta try it.
Yeah.
So I got half a cup of water. I got my 2 cups of cashews, my clove of garlic, tablespoon of lemon, 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast. How much apple cider vinegar? And then thyme.
1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar.
Not very
And-
much.
Not very much, huh? And 1.5
And then
teaspoons of
thyme,
dried
thyme,
thyme.
right?
Of thyme, it's 1.5, so more thyme than apple cider vinegar. And it says optional.
Fascinating.
It says optional, so I like the flavor of thyme. So, and salt and pepper, it says 1/2 teaspoon of both salt and 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper.
That's odd. I wouldn't think you'd put salt and pepper in a cream cheese, but
It's interesting, isn't it? Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, now this other
Okay,
one,
yeah, it's all experimental. And it
right?
sounds like, I don't know how you say her name, but Lisa, that book, Makayo, you
Miko.
said it, Miko is how you say it. Okay. Artisan cheese is just the name of it, correct?
It's artisan vegan cheese, and you spell her name Miyoko, and her last name is Schinner, Schinner.
Miyoko. I'm sorry, I said it
Yeah,
wrong.
Miyoko. Yeah.
Miyoko. Yeah, she's amazing.
SH, give me that again. Shinner. SHINNER.
SCHINNER.
SCH. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, now this one is one I just think this will be so fun to make. I hadn't looked through the book enough to see. This one is simple. I like simple. A soy milk ricotta. Now, something like that could be special to put on a cracker if you're going somewhere, or what else would you put a ricotta on? I'm thinking of pasta, but I don't know.
Yeah, pasta dishes,
Mm.
and like lasagna.
Yeah. Okay, this one sounds real simple. Now it's talking a lot here. It says you have to cut this in half. 4.25 cups of soy milk. So, or maybe you want to keep it for a few days, or maybe you're making it for a big lasagna recipe. So 4.25 cups of soy milk, 2.5 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar or white vinegar. 1 teaspoon natural sea salt. Ta-da! That's it. Let me read the instructions with it, okay? Place the soy milk in a saucepan and heat on medium heat until it starts to boil. Soy milk has a tendency to burn. Stir regularly to avoid burning at the bottom of the pan. To prepare for curdling, place the vinegar and the salt in 2 different bowls and set aside. So you want to have that ready to go before you start boiling your milk. Once the soy milk is simmering, turn off the heat, pour the salt and vinegar into the soy milk, use a wooden spoon and stir for 15 to 20 seconds and let it sit untouched for 20 minutes. So it's going to do some curdling. While the milk is curdling, prepare 1 or 2 cheese molds and place a cheesecloth on top of them. If you don't have cheese molds or cheesecloth, a strainer over a pot and a clean towel will work. So I'm thinking of a strainer that I use and putting the cheese, I do have cheesecloth, or I can get that, and putting that in the strainer. Place the cheese molds on a grid over a tray or in a strainer above a pot for the whey to be easily drained. So after it curdles, there's going to be some liquid draining through. Once the milk has curdled, pour over the cheesecloth and once the milk has curdled, pour over the cheesecloth and let it set for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, close the cheesecloth and place a weight on it to help the whey drain further. So I can just see wrapping up that cheesecloth or that cupboard and putting a bowl on it. To get the perfect consistency, I usually let the ricotta drain for 2 hours before removing the weight. If the ricotta is still too runny, let the weight stay for another 1 to 2 hours and place it in the fridge. Unwrap the cheesecloth. The ricotta is ready to be used in any of your favorite recipes. Keep in the fridge for up to 6 days. Now, I can't hear you. You're muted, Kate. Oh,
And you know what? That was just me going, wow, thanks. You know, me
Yeah.
saying thanks in the background for you teaching us
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. Okay. So for me, this one takes some planning, but since it can last 6 days, I could see doing that ahead of time, for something and having it. The other thing is, I bet if somebody Googled right now, vegan ricotta cheese recipe, I bet you could find some things. I mean, I'm pretty amazed at the things that we can come up with. But that one really looks delicious to me. It's making my mouth water right now. And you see the ingredient list was very simple. It is good to have some apple cider vinegar or white vinegar around. And then they
And
have,
BJ, that easy one that you make with the nutritional yeast, does that last about 6 days or?
well, I don't know, when I have cooked pinto beans, I don't like to keep them over 4 days.
Oh, yeah, you're right. They get to
They don't,
smelling.
they
Yeah.
don't do so well. And
Beans
these,
don't.
right, so these beans, so I'm not thinking they would do that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3
yeah.
or 4 days is what I would.
Stupid question.
No, it was a good question. Good to remind us about that. This one has an almond ricotta where you would just use, it says use white almond butter, which then you have to go look at how to make butter. So I'm not going to read that one, but apparently you might even be able to buy some almond butter. Wait, almond butter, isn't that the same thing as peanut butter and almond butter? That you can get at the store, can't you?
Yeah, but why would you use the almond milk instead of the soy milk?
Right.
I don't know. Just curious. I guess we're gonna have fun experimenting.
Yes. I mean, it's just so many flavors that we don't have to go to the dairy cow, right? Now here's one. It says cashew and tofu feta cheese. Okay. If y'all are okay with me reading the ingredient list. Okay, and I haven't read through it. I marked it, but I'm not sure that this one, okay, it says an 8-ounce extra firm tofu, that's easy. 3/4 cups of cashews that have been soaked overnight. A half a cup of refined coconut oil. A half a large lemon juiced. 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. 1.5 tablespoons of nutritional yeast, a teaspoon of dried thyme, a tablespoon of salt, and a teaspoon of dried thyme, a teaspoon of salt, and a teaspoon of garlic powder. And this is 2 cups of feta. Now, I love feta, and so this might be something I try because it's easy for me to get tofu. The only thing is this one has coconut oil, and I don't like to put oil in my things. So I bet it's delicious though. I mean, I love coconut oil and flavors.
Yeah, is it coconut oil? I mean, it's medium chain fatty acids. You got to make that the exception and our go-to oil, really.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm okay with
Yeah, for people who are okay with that, yeah, I might even look up, is there a tofu feta no oil cheese for me, just to see, you know, but no, I do not have any problems with some, that. Okay, let's see what it says to make it. If y'all still interested in this, oh yeah, hey Danny, go ahead.
I just wanted to say my cousin uses, she found a coconut oil that doesn't taste like coconut.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she has to order it from somewhere, probably, just if you looked it up online, you find it, but they extra refine it or something that takes the coconutty out. So it just really is an oil,
Yeah,
purposeful oil, not flavorful. Just
right.
wanted to, okay.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so
Mm.
much. Okay, so now it says to prepare the cashews, well, we know about putting water over them, 2 to 3 inches of water over them and letting them soak overnight. Oh, and then it says add all your ingredients to a food processor at high speed, mix until smooth and creamy, taste and adjust the level of salt and acidity to your liking. For smooth and spreadable feta, transfer your mixture into a bowl and serve. Alternately, let it rest for 2 hours in the fridge for a slightly firmer feta. That makes sense. And then for a cubed feta, line a loaf pan with parchment paper. Transfer your feta to the pan and use a spatula to spread it for 1 to 2 inches thick and let it sit in the fridge for 4 hours or more. Overnight is fine. Okay, now why is it saying preheat the oven? Okay, I better get to this part. Preheat the oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. While the oven is heating, remove your cheese from the fridge and allow it to come to room temperature. Bake your cheese uncovered for 30 to 35 minutes until the top is golden brown and appears puffy. Remove the cheese from the oven and allow it to cool at room temperature. Place the feta back in the fridge to set before cubing. To cube the feta, release the cheese from the pan. Use a sharp knife to cut the cheese into cubes or crumble the feta into pieces. To serve, enjoy your spreadable or cubed cheese as feta. To store, keep your feta for 5 to 7 days in the fridge and up to 2 months in the freezer. Okay, so that adds worth to value to me if I'm going to go to the trouble of soaking overnight, then turning on the oven to put something in. Right. Okay, so that's some of the things in this book. Now, I have to tell you, I was kind of surprised because although there are those recipes, most of the recipes in here are things that you would have, like cheesy steamed veggies, and then she will refer back to the recipe she's already made. She has a pizza. She has she has recipes that use some of her cheese things. So I guess that's good for people who wonder how it would use it. Now let's look at her her
Well,
cheese.
now you got me, you went on pizza, so it's like, what's the twist to make mozzarella? How would that be different than the ricotta?
Oh, okay, good. Let me see it. She doesn't have page numbers on. She has a table of contents, and I know.
Sorry to interrupt, but it's
No,
like,
I'm
ooh,
glad you did. It's perfect timing.
yeah, because you kind of taken us to cheddar and to ricotta.
Yeah.
So I'm like, give me an idea what makes those other white cheeses.
Okay, so it's interesting because she has the chapter headings and it includes a mozzarella chapter 10, but when you thumb through, you can't, and doesn't have page numbers. So she doesn't have page numbers to find it. But I know I saw it, so let me see if I can find it again, because I'm curious about that too. Okay, she has a Parmesan, a Brie, a Jack cheese. Okay, here's the mozzarella toward the back. Okay, mozzarella. Ooh, I remember mozzarella. Okay. And she has how much time it takes. Serves one ball. Okay. A half a cup of cashews. Are you writing this down? Do you want me to go slow enough for you to write it down? All right. 1 1/4 cups of water. 1/4 cup of tapioca powder. 1 tablespoon of nutritional yeast. 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. 1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar. 1/2 teaspoon of agar-agar powder. 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder. Now, I know I have seen a simpler, no, I've seen a very simple Parmesan. This has a lot of ingredients, but really they're not hard ingredients or anything. So, okay, so you prepare the cashews. It says place your cashews in a heat-proof bowl and cover them with boiling water. That's different. Let it soak for an hour to soften. Drain the cashews and rinse well. To prepare the cheese, add all of your ingredients into a blender and mix on a high speed until smooth and creamy, 1 to 2 minutes. Transfer your cheese mixture to a saucepan. Heat on a medium to high heat until beginning to boil. Reduce the heat and simmer for 3 to 5 minutes until the mixture is easily pulls away from the pan. Stir continuously. And in fact, you know what I could do? I could take a picture and send this to you. That might be easier to have it also. Okay, so it's going to pull away from the pan, stirring continuously. Once the mixture has thickened, remove the cheese from the heat. It says for stretchy mozzarella, you can immediately serve the cheese from the pan, transfer into a bowl, and serve or use in recipes. So it is kind of stretchy then in the pan. And then for a mozzarella ball, transfer the cheese mixture into a mold your desired shape. Place it in the fridge to thicken for up to 4 hours. Slice it and enjoy it. Yeah. So that's another one. Keep the cheese spread in a ball or an airtight container 2 to 3 days. So it's not going to last as long. So there are just so many. Oh my gosh, she has a pepper jack cheese and a brie.
Yum.
Yeah. Now
Got to
there's,
get the books.
yeah,
Nice.
get the books. Yeah. And also, I tell you, it's amazing what you can find just by Googling it, but you do have to put the word vegan, and for me, I put no oil. Oh, I wanted to tell you about that recipe. I have tried the potato carrot recipe for a cheese nacho sauce, and I liked it, but not as much as this one that I have. But but it's still good. The recipe that I want to try, and I think that it was the texture of the potato one, which wasn't quite as smooth and slicky as you think of when you think of a cheese, is using a vegan nacho cheese with eggplant. Because eggplant has a nice creaminess to it. Not creamy, but smoothness to it or something, silkiness. So I'm looking forward to trying that sometime. Okay, my friends, that's what I got for you today. And I know that, oh yeah, go ahead, Willow. Oh, you're muted.
At the beginning, you had one of the recipes asking for 3/4 cups of nutritional yeast, and the other recipe had just a couple of tablespoons. It kind of got my attention that 3/4 cup seems to be a lot. I don't know if there's a difference between ground or flakes, but I had heard that nutritional yeast is good in small amounts. So if you're making a sauce for or a cheese that is only good for like 3 4 days, it seems a lot of yeast because of digestive issues that I have heard about doing too much yeast at once.
Okay, Willow, very good. Thank you for bringing that up. It does seem like a lot to me. And when I made it on Tuesday, I tried a half a cup of, less, and it wasn't as good. So I don't know. I noticed that too when I'm hearing all these just a little bit of yeast, and then here I'm just putting a whole pile of it in there. Yeah, it was just something I made up for by taste, and I don't know what it does to the system. Now, Tammy, having written a book on gut health, might be able to tell us more, and I look
Oh,
forward to she said she would talk to us sometime and give us a little class because she uses not just cashews, because there are some people who are allergic to cashews, but she makes cheese from sunflower seeds and other seeds, and that avoids, what we try to do sometimes when we're serving large groups is avoid the things that people might be allergic to.
yeah.
And so, yeah, that's a very good point about the nutritional yeast, so much of it in there. And also, I
Yeah.
know, when people tell you how much, so there's zero this and zero that, it's like this one is for a rounded tablespoon, a rounded tablespoon zero. So if you have a half a cup, there might be some calories and stuff in there, but when they say it's so small, it rounds down to zero. But if you have a cup of it, it might round up to some calories or fats or something. So yeah,
Thank you.
you're very welcome. Good point. Thanks for bringing that up.
And my last question is about this thickening agent, the agar. Uh, when I think of agar, I think of the plates in laboratories where they grow things on. Is there another kind of agar that I don't know about? And how would that be superior to the tapioca as a thickener? And I guess what's the line between, when you use the potato starch or the cornstarch versus the tapioca? Is there a defining place there?
Yeah, those are good questions for the web because I sure don't know.
I guess I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's a
At
good
Uncle
question.
Google, ask it to Grandma Rebecca.
Yeah, I don't know. I did buy some agar. I don't remember. I do have some, but I don't know the difference in them. I haven't used them. This woman being a chef, she's like a French chef. She has, I say French because some of the cheeses here I can't pronounce. I don't know. May have, may have some reasons for one thing over another, but I sure don't know them. Good point. Yeah. And the other thing to do, one can do is, we don't have to have cheese. It's just that in our culture, there is so much cheese and meat on everything. It's so subsidized that, they'll put it in everything. Just same with sugar. I mean, to put sugar in peanut butter, imagine that. You go and you look at the ingredients and there's sugar in the peanut butter. But I was remembering because somebody else said she was vegan and she had a slip and she was asking, oh, what can she do to not have that slip anymore? And somebody told her, and it reminds me of mine when I was house sitting in Amarillo with a friend, and she left and said, have anything in the house you want? Well, she had candy and she had ice cream, and so I had some ice cream, and I had the whole container of ice cream. And then I went and bought some and replaced it, and also bought me some vegan ice cream. But I thought I'm going to have to do something I'm going to have to rewatch a video of a mother cow and a baby cow, and being killed or something, to have that eye contact to help me remember. And so that's what I have done. That helps.
I'd been slipping back, and it wasn't until Tammy Hayes said, "Oh, so you're all into rape, slavery, and then abandonment." And it's like, oh yeah, I
Right.
am adding to those things with every
Mhm.
thing I buy. So I am so grateful I feel so empowered that
Yeah,
we might be able to make,
yeah. So many options out there. And when you think of all the fruits and vegetables and nuts and seeds and various combinations of them, we haven't touched the surface. I mean, we've barely touched the surface of all the combinations of taste.
And I appreciate all the testing that you do and making whatever mistakes so that we can learn from your mistakes. I'm taking the cheese recipe slowly because it's a whole new area for me that, but I am interested, and I thank you for, maybe encouraging us to expand our availability. So thank
Ah,
you.
you're very welcome, Willow. Thank you. Yeah. Now let's see. Do we want to talk about continue on cheeses, or do we want to talk about food healers, smooth food healers? I think Lisa and I brought up there may be some things we want to talk about. You're all welcome to stay and join us, but we have been um, providing meals once a month, and I have been talking with various people in our group about going ahead and doing it twice a month. And that would mean, so I suggested the fourth Monday, so it's the second and fourth Monday. We don't have a whole lot of people doing this. Let's see, let's just count up how many we have that we've done it. We've had Lynn help, Judy, Linda, Lisa, Jeannie G,
Barbara.
Willow, and me. Who am I missing? I don't think I'm missing anything. Okay. And then Judy has a friend. When she said when she does it, she wants her friend to come. And so that's spreading the word. Maybe she'll eventually come to our church, but whatever, she wants to be a part of it in that way. And then I have a friend, Margaret, who wants to, when it's my turn, to come over and help me chop vegetables and get them ready. And she may join me at the service center, because she also wants to be involved in understanding how we serve a lot of people, how that works, what that looks like. So we have 8 people, but it doesn't mean that we have 8 people every time. If we can do something once a month, it sounds simple, once a month. But if it happens to be on a Monday when you can't be there, you're out of town or whatever, then that's just the way that works. So, what do y'all think, Lisa and Willow, about the two? Yeah, go ahead.
Linda, is that Linda Opal?
Yes.
She and Judy and I were gonna meet to get vegan, but I don't, to get vegan pizza at 11, but I don't know if I can get her, oh, I should be able to get her address through the Food Healers WhatsApp. So I guess I can contact her through that to find out if they're doing it or not.
Oh, I don't know if she's on WhatsApp, but I can give you her email.
Okay,
I'll put that in the chat to you.
okay. Thank you.
You bet.
Well, and while you're doing that, I very much in favor of doing a second uh, week, a second Monday per month. It's just if we can make sure that there's always somebody that's able to help with it. Like, for instance, I'm not going to be able to be there this next one in March, the second Monday, and I probably would be able to do it the fourth Monday if we do go ahead and start in March.
Yeah, my tendency is to say, yes, I'll be able to be there every time except when I can't. But how many times can't I? I don't know. Right. And that's,
Right.
I have another question.
yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't know how to interrupt if you're finished talking, but
It's okay.
um, uh, so this that we're talking about, will that be through this Zoom address, or would it be through the Unitarian address? Zoom.
Okay. So we're fortunate enough to have the block party host us here on this one. So if food healers want to meet, whether it's food healers in LA or our San Marcos food healers, we'll come to this one.
Okay,
And
thank you.
you bet. And I did get a note from Barbara. Sorry, she said, sorry, she doesn't have the updated app to get this Zoom. So apparently she tried the Zoom link and it didn't work for her. So that we'll have to check out and see why that didn't work.
I also need to learn myself how to save these links in a way that I can access them quicker. Because, and as far as twice a month, I can't be sure that I would attend either. I'm just afraid that, yeah. So
Okay.
I know I should learn that, but I can't get help for Zoom when I go and get help from the technicians, because I have to be in Zoom, I think, to learn it. Anyway, I need to find out how to save Zoom addresses without having to hold on to the emails that have the link in the emails.
Right. Okay. There's two good things.
So,
One is that if you want to be on the block party mailing list, they're going to send one out every Friday morning, which has the link. So that's not saving things, but that's an email that comes. I got one this morning that reminded me because they send out an itinerary of what's on for the whole day, that sort of thing. So you could get on the mailing list if you like to check your email, and it comes every Friday. But the way I save my Zoom links, oh, I'm sorry, you were muted. You're still muted.
who was that you were talking about?
So Marco and Jamin and some of these other
Okay.
people, they do this block party, which lasts 24 hours or more on Friday.
Okay. No,
And
I was hoping for
Nope.
I was hoping for a different form of saving of Zoom.
oh, there is. So that,
Not saving.
Yeah, so that's an email method. The other form, the way I save my links is I have a Word document and I just save it, I have all information in there because Word has a find feature, so I can put find. So if I save a link and I put Smooth, then I have the Smooth link. If I want to save the link and then put, Food Healers, so then I can do a search. So if it gets long, I can always search on a keyword. That's the way I do it. Otherwise, I don't.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's see where my phone is.
Also, do you use Zoom with from the app? Do you have the app on your computer? Because
I
if you go to the app and you've already been to a website, if you don't clear it out, it remembers the site in there, and all you have to do is join and then scroll through the past meetings for the right one.
Oh, really?
I don't know if I can show how that works. Let me get my Zoom thing up. Zoom. Yeah, let me see.
Previous meetings. Yeah, I see some previous meetings there, that last 3.
Yeah, as long as you don't clear them out, they stay there.
Well, mine must automatically clear because mine won't let me scroll to more than just 3.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Mine.
And I'm not sure why Barbara would be able to get to the Zoom on our our church page and not to the Zoom link here.
Maybe the link she has is off somehow.
I don't know. I used that one this morning through our newsletter just to make sure it worked, and it did work fine for me. I'll see, Barbara.
Is she on a phone maybe? Because sometimes something I noticed with the phones, the links don't always work real well.
I doubt
No,
she is.
she's not on she doesn't usually use the phone. She uses a laptop or some sort of.
Yeah, iPad. I think.
Are you going to see her?
I am going to see her this afternoon. I can ask her about that.
Okay. Yeah, and if you have the link, you could even try coming on because they'll be here. They may be in the middle of a conversation, but
Yeah, at least we could experiment with it. Yeah, we could do that.
well, let's see. So the sometimes I feel like I have time to do things, and really I think, oh yeah, it takes time before the event and the cleanup time after the event. I'm comfortable if I have one other person that can try to do it. We may not have the fruit salad that time, or we may have a fruit salad and then but making enough for 50 for one person is a lot. So yeah, so that's interesting. The other thing is we were noticing on the calendar that we want to go to the eclipse, which is April the 8th.
Ooh.
Yeah, April the 8th is the second Monday in April, and you want to be able to prepare for that if you can. It's pretty far away from you, Marco, I think.
Yeah,
Danny might be close to it, but we're pretty close to it here in
Where is it?
it's April 8th.
On where? Just
It
in
goes from the what do they call that? The line of darkness. They don't call it that, but it's where the eclipse is shown. As you can look it up, and how would the path of the total eclipse? It'll show you on a map.
Oh,
Yeah,
how cool. Okay.
yeah, and it shows you, and it's down from Mexico up over to the east somewhere.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so if most people around here, at least I'm sure throughout the whole path, are wanting to go out and observe that. So
Right.
So-
And see, that's the day we do a food healer. So I was telling Lisa that maybe we could cook something before the day before and take it to JJ the chef, and then he could have it to reheat. So that if that works, then that may be something we could do on a day that say, look, I'm not going to be able to be there. Hey, I can make it ahead of time and maybe take it to JJ's or maybe give it to somebody. Lynn has not been there with us, but she made something, brought it to me, and then I took her food.
Yeah, that's true. And so I could bring something for this next time. I mean, I would have to bring it like 2 or 3 days ahead,
2 or 3 days ahead.
leave
Yeah.
it with you or with JJ.
Yeah, that's pretty far ahead. Well, hopefully we'll get somebody else to volunteer to do that. Okay, so I'm feeling mixed feelings about that. About
Or if maybe we should talk to more people and get a bigger group that does feel a little more committed to it before we promise JJ that we can be there. I don't, but 2
Well,
times.
well, we could also say, sorry, we couldn't find anybody this Monday. You know, if we can't do it, he's already doing it.
Well, that's true.
But it would be nice. Well, we've got Opal and Judy. The thing is, one of the things Judy said is, wouldn't it be nice if we sent a card thanking the people who did that? Well, how do we get a card from all of us to the new person? You know, I want to make sure that Linda and Judy, but Linda, especially being even newer than Judy, knows how much we appreciate what she did. You know, she's done
Yeah.
it twice now. I think she brought fruit one time and she brought soup one time. Um,
Hmm.
And the other thing that I want to do is there's a Presbyterian church here that I would like to go to and see if they're interested in doing a food healers thing. Because we have 2 churches that supply food once a week. Every week they
Wow.
cook food and it's free. And they cook for 200 people.
Wow.
And they get their food from the food bank. And so they have somebody designated to see what food is there, see what additional things they need to buy, and then they serve it. And then they pay for styrofoam and all that kind of stuff. And it's always got a dessert, you know, and it's always got a meat. So it's, you know, it's, in fact, I've gone 2 or 3 times at the 2 different churches, once to once and about 3 times to the other. And there's seldom anything I can eat there at all. But when they tried to expand it to another church, or when I offered to, hey, can we get in there and have a food healers night, so it could be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, they didn't have enough money. They don't feel like they have enough money to buy all the styrofoam that they're using. And that's where it's very costly if you're buying spoons and styrofoam and things like that for people to, so they don't have to wash dishes. So we have bowls we could use. So I was thinking about seeing if the Presbyterian church would be interested in doing a food healers one, because then it would be, you just, it's simple if you just have the soup. You've got everything you need in it, and it's one meal, and it shows people you can have everything in one meal. But then if they did it, I don't think they would do once a month. I think they would want to do weekly like the others. And I think that makes sense. They have, you know, Wednesday at one church, Thursday at the other church, and the Presbyterian church would be weekly. So for me to commit to that every week would, you know, I don't know which is more valuable, doing that
Oh, yeah.
or adding another monthly thing at the Southside Center. Or could I do both? It seems like a lot. Yeah.
I'm not following anything that you just said. I don't have, uh, and I'm having issues with just trying to locate a food healer. Um, there's the food healer group, but how do I contact another food healer? I mean, you're trying to schedule and get everybody together. The whole year, it's been Lisa and me with you. They come and go. How do you even contact them? Can I contact one food healer person that is supposed to be in the WhatsApp list?
I think I don't understand your question. When we started Food Healers, I invited us to go to the WhatsApp,
Right.
but not everybody can do that. Barbara Jacobson is not going to be interested in adding another thing, I don't think, to that. Judy, I haven't added her in there. Linda Opal. So we have three. So email is the way with our new people that we make sure we get it. So that's why I've been sending emails to everybody. So everybody has everybody else's email from the emails that I sent to you. But WhatsApp is easier for the people who are really involved. You know, Jeannie G, I think she's still interested in this. I think she is. She's just been busy. Sam.
So emails. So what do you do with your emails? I am getting more emails now, and I'm going to need to start canceling out people that are loading my thing. I can't handle that. So where do I find, okay. Look, this is all for me stuff that I shouldn't bring up in a large group. So, you know, when I'm sitting here talking about food healer issues, I'm feeling so disconnected electronically. I mean, you're there understanding, doing everything. Meanwhile, I'm a block behind all of this. So I can't, I'm just having an anxiety attack. I'm going to go ahead and leave.
Well, gosh, Willow, I appreciate you being here so much. And I know, I just want to share with you, I feel anxiety about the emails too. It's just overwhelming.
Well, BJ, you have a Food Healers Facebook page, don't you?
No, we don't.
I don't have Facebook. That's
Oh.
the thing. Is that Facebook, blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. It's like it's taking over. I can't see people's eyes anymore because everybody's looking down at their machine. So I'm in an anxiety mode, as you can pick up. And it's just adding on more stuff. And meanwhile, I'm not looking at trees. I'm not looking at the sky. I'm not looking at animals. I'm not looking at things that I want to look, because the whole world is turning into us looking at some screen of people far away. I need to go ahead and get off because, like I said, I'm on anxiety.
Okay, we love you, Willow. Enjoy your pizza.
Hopefully you have some nice trees outside. You can go hug a tree.
Yes.
Brown.
I can't even know if I'm going to meet these two people, because I need to find their address, because I don't have their phone number, because nobody uses the phone. They all just email through this machine so that we can sit here and develop hemorrhoids. Bye.
Bye.
Hi, Willow.
Okay, so I'm going to send,
She's not wrong, you know.
no, she's not wrong.
I'm sitting here doing exactly the same thing. Got an extra skin on my butt and then stuck to it.
Yeah, she's not wrong. Okay, so I sent her Linda's email so they can get in touch today, because I think that's what we need. We do need to be in person together. And Marco, you know that too, and you've been able to get in touch with some people, and it's
Yeah.
been important. And Lisa and Willow and I have been able to, and I think giving food is one way to do it, but we do have all these different ways of communicating, which can get complicated.
Yeah, and I need to talk to Willow about going to the public library and letting them help her out with all her technology issues. I think they'll be.
Yeah, if she will be open to that, that would be
Yeah.
great. Oh, there's Melissa. Hi, Melissa. Well, listen, I think we did pretty well with the cheese thing. We've got some people interested. Kate had to leave. I'm going to try to meet Dr. Rao at 11. Hope he shows up. So that's in 45 minutes to get ready for the convergence. I was going to show a video of, we have a food healer in London who has a cooking class, and she did a demo, but it's too long to watch. So I'm going to put that in the chat if anybody is interested in that. Somebody else serving and showing how to do the unity stew. That was from a food healers event. So Melissa, do you want to say hello? Yeah.
Hi, BJ. Good to
Hi.
see you.
Yeah,
Yay.
good to see you. Yay, yeah.
Hi, Marco. Hi, everyone. Been
This
such
is
a long
Lisa.
time.
Lisa, my friend, she lives near me, and this is Melissa, artist and
Hi.
wife of Jamin, and independent woman, and yeah,
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 great to be here with you.
yeah.
We had an amazing vegan meal yesterday. We're in Santa Fe, and Prabhat is here for a few days. And he came over with two friends who he knew in LA who are also vegan, Vanessa and Mia. And there is a cool restaurant here called the Apothecary. It's also an oxygen bar, and they made really amazing vegan food.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So it's kind of nice to find out about the vegan restaurants in Santa Fe, because we were kind of looking and didn't see anything at first.
I'm so glad you told me. My cousin came over from Santa Fe, and I got to see her day before yesterday, and she's not vegan. So I now know there is a place to eat vegan there if I ever
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, I could go grab the menu if you want to see it. She brought it to us.
Oh,
You-
no, that's okay. Thank
Okay.
you. I need to be going.
Oh,
myself.
okay.
But
Well, lots of-
yeah, I'm glad. Is there anything else for us, Lisa? Maybe hold off on the.
Well, I don't know. We could try for next month, and it seems like if either you or I or Willow are at one or the other of the two per month,
Uh-huh.
probably be okay. So maybe we could just make sure to spread ourselves out over
Maybe
those.
we could do that. Maybe we could just go ahead and do our calendar and say, I'll take this one, I'll take that one, you'll take this one.
Yeah,
But I know things come up, so.
yeah. I'll go ahead and add it to the Sign Up Genius, though I haven't done that yet. So if you
If
think
you
we're ready.
I'm wondering now if I really am going to go to this other church and see if they want food healers once a week, then I think that might be a priority to see if I can do that.
Yeah, that's a
Then
lot.
we could occasionally go to JJ. We could just say, does anybody want to go next Wednesday to JJ's and serve food instead of
Well,
making it a
yeah.
regular thing?
Maybe
could
we
try
should
that.
do that.
Let's try
Yeah.
that. Okay.
That sounds good.
Okay. Then we can just see, yeah, we can get another group together to
Yeah.
give JJ some relief.
Yeah. So we can have a second group and a fourth group.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Thank you so much, BJ. This is
Thank you. It was really fun.
Yeah.
Good to see you, Melissa.
BJ, before you go, I just
Yeah.
have to tell you my awesome news.
Oh, good.
So, I'm a visual artist, and I use my artist activism for awakening or introducing to people that we need to take care of the planet and animals on the planet. And my friend Joan and I are organizing an event because we do a lot of activism around saving the orca whales because we live in the Pacific Northwest. And we just got permission from the Washington State Ferry System to do a whole event on the ferry to honor Tokite, who's the orca whale who died in Florida. She was held in captivity for, 50 years. She died at the age of 57 last year very sadly. They were about to release her into a sanctuary here on the Pacific Northwest, in the Pacific Northwest. So we're going to do a whole community event. We're going to have speakers. They're going to stop the ferry and toot the horn, and they're going to allow us to throw flowers in her memory. And we're going to ask people to come. It's kind of like dressed up as orcas and jellyfish and do this awesome community event on the ferry. And then they're also allowing us to use their big terminus to do have Native American speakers come and talk about taking care of Mother Earth and all the sentient beings we share the planet with. So I just have to share that with you because I'm so excited that we got permission to do this. It's going to be a lot of fun and you know, bring a lot of people information about what we can do to clean up the Salish Sea and help these animals to survive.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, congratulations. Alan has your hand up.
Yeah, you sound like you were winding up, getting towards the end, and I was just wondering if that's the case. Can I ask a few questions just for something that's happening today?
Yeah.
I'm I'll see your recording anyway, but I'll get the recording of this section. So you see behind me, it's World Peace Dance. It's the first of every month, and March is a good month to start a march for world peace. Although it's not a march, it's a dance. You don't have to say you're doing it for world peace. You don't have to. All you have to do is dance. If you want to film it, you can film it. If you want to just do it, you just do it. If you want to tell other people about it, great, because that's what we want. We want everybody to do it every first of the month, forever. As once we get every month quite full up, we might get the second of the month, the third of the month, and we might have a day off where we don't dance one day. But you know, there's no agenda connected with it. There's nothing else. You know, it's just activity. What you were saying earlier about sitting on your bums and not getting out and doing anything. Get up, get out, have a dance, get some exercise. Maybe get a few people, go around in a circle. Obviously, if nobody sees you, it doesn't make any difference. But if you TikTok it or YouTube it or Facebook it or just record it and show it to your friends, whatever method of spreading the word, and maybe one day it'll spread. And there's already other people who are doing things like that for Dance for World Peace, and eventually when that reaches out, they'll say, "Oh, we're doing that too," and they'll kind of hook up. And anyway, that's today. Particularly special. It's been going for 6 months, but particularly special day because it was supposed to be yesterday, but there was an extra day. So it's not going to happen like this again for another 4 years. So we did it yesterday and today because it was supposed to be yesterday and now it's today.
Well, that's exciting. I love it. I'll try to remember it. I'll dance today for sure. And tonight is First Friday out on the square, so maybe if I'm out there with some people, I'll say, let's dance.
Yeah, as I say, that's all it's about. It's no. I mean, it'd be nice if people do record it and let us know, because we could, if they were willing, we could put a compilation and put that on as many sites as possible. We're not going to try and point it to any agenda or any. It's just everybody, everywhere, all at once, dancing, just to say we want peace and nothing else. Once we get to that point, we can think about the rest later because we'll already have peace. We'll be in unity, dancing together.
Lovely. Lovely idea. Yeah. Okay, my friends, I think I'm going to take off.
Okay,
Bye-bye,
looks like
everybody.
Lisa's ready to leave. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank
Lots
you,
of
Alan.
love,
Thanks so much,
BJ.
BJ.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that,
Yeah.
Alan.
Bye, everyone.
Hey everybody, Jamin here. Danny, good to see you. Alan, good to see you. And AKB. Who's AKB?
That
Is
would
that
be
another
that,
version of it?
that would be another version of Alan.
Is that other version of Alan actually intelligible? I mean, can you understand what he? No, I'm just kidding. Anyway. Anyway, well, I'm very happy to talk about after parties, and especially like a vegan after party if we wanted to do that. I know BJ and Silas are planning for the next convergence. Marco, do you know when the next convergence is?
I want to say the last weekend in April. Let me double check real quick.
Okay, so we got a couple months probably. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Exact dates.
Did I hear some mumbling earlier on? Some cowboy or something speaking that was unintelligible.
This can't be right. Oh, how did I get here?
Oh, notice I've got the right hand for food tailors today. Purely coincidence, I didn't know it was.
Anyway, whenever the next vegan convergence is, let's call it end of April. Let's talk with Silas, BJ, and whoever else is organizing and offer to do an after party, right?
Yeah.
And like we could even do like speed networking, right? You know, it depends on how many people are there. You know, there may be a dozen people there, there may be a couple dozen, but I think it would actually be a draw for the vegan convergence that they say, hey, we're doing all these talks and everything like that. And then at the end, there's, you know, at the end of both days, Saturday, Sunday, there's going to be an after party. And, you know, either the same Zoom room or a different Zoom room. We'll have to talk with Silas about that. But anyway, what do you think about that, Marco?
I think that sounds like a good idea. Well, this is weird. The websites are not working right. Oh, did we want to cut this recording at this point?
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Let me make that happen. It'll just take me a minute. I'll be Gretel. Hey, Gretel.